Alright, almost 1 a.m. Eastern time I'm making this video, but let's just make it happen. So I'm gonna give it to you straight. Most jobs that you're applying to right now, they don't even exist. They're not filled, they're not hiring, and they're not real. And I'm gonna tell you what the worst part is. The worst part is that system is designed this way. Because while you're refreshing LinkedIn, while you're applying to 200, 300, 500 jobs online, companies already know that they're not going to be hiring you. So I'm going to start with what you're being told. You're being told that the job market is recovering, right? That there are millions of job openings, that companies are hiring, but just take a look closer. According to a recent report, US job openings rose 6.95 million, but the labor market remains sluggish, with minimal hiring and weak growth. So let that sink in for a second. Millions of jobs open, but hiring is still weak. That just doesn't add up to me. And analysts are calling it something new. They've developed a new term for this at this point. They're calling it a hiring recession. So, what's exactly going on? Why are there so many jobs but no one is hiring? Well, this is where things kind of get dark. And there's actually a term for it. These are called ghost jobs. These are job listings that are already filled, that are maybe frozen, or that were never meant to be filled in the first place. And the crazy part is that this isn't even rare. Between 18 and 22% of job listings are ghost jobs. That's 1 in 5 jobs, right? But some estimates are going higher. Nearly 40% of hiring managers admit to posting roles with absolutely no intention to filling them. Think about that. How crazy is that? You're spending hours customizing resumes, writing cover letters, preparing applications for jobs that were never real in the first place. The demand was just never there in the first place. Now, here's the part that no one talks about, that these companies are not posting fake jobs by accident. They're kind of doing it on purpose, and I'm going to break it down exactly why. So, companies basically want your data, right? Companies post jobs to build a talent pipeline. Your resume sits in a database indefinitely, right? What does that mean? Well, you're not exactly applying for a job. You're basically feeding a database at this point. You're feeding a pipeline. And if a company has 200 open roles, it looks like it's growing, but job postings are being used to signal growth to investors and competitors, even if they're not hiring at all. And this is especially important in tech, in startups, and in public companies, because at this point, perception equals valuation. And look at this. This one is brutal, okay? 77% of managers say ghost jobs increase productivity among current employees. Think about that for a second. Your company basically posts your job online not to replace you, but to make you work harder. And companies are using job postings to collect salary data, understanding competitors, track skills demand. It's basically free research using your time. A job basically gets approved, right? Then it's frozen, but the listing stays up because nobody bothers to remove it, and they're continuously just collecting data from it. But here's the bigger picture. Even when the jobs are real, companies aren't hiring like they used to. Hiring intentions have fallen to the lowest level in years. Only 59% of employers plan to hire these days. That means nearly half are not hiring at all. So now combine that with ghost jobs, and suddenly the job market starts to look very different. Because even if the job is real, you're probably not even being seen because AI is the first interviewer. We all know that. Your resume basically goes through ATS filters, keyword matching, AI scoring systems, and if you don't match perfectly, you're instantly rejected. Like no human is involved in this process. So now we have fake jobs, we have hiring freezes, and we have AI filtering. And on top of that, you're competing against thousands of applicants. And here's where it gets a little bit more insane. At the same time companies are posting jobs, they're also laying off people. Amazon, Meta, Citi, and over 100 companies are cutting jobs in 2026 due to AI and restructuring. So let's recap for a second what just happened. Companies are laying off workers, posting jobs, not hiring, and collecting resumes. This is not a normal job market. This is basically a system that looks like it's working, but it isn't. So why is this all happening right now? Like, why now? Because the economy has completely changed. The growth has slowed to just 0.7% in late 2025. Interest rates are high. AI is replacing roles, and companies are cutting costs. And this is creating something new: growth without any hiring. And companies are making a boatload of money, but they don't need people anymore. And governments are starting to notice this pattern. New legislation is being introduced to crack down on ghost job listing. Some laws now require companies to disclose if a job is real, update job status, and respond to candidates. Why is this? Because this has become a real problem. This has become a systemic problem at this point. So, where does that leave you? If you're applying online, you're basically, I hate to say this, but you're basically playing a losing game, because 20 to 40% of jobs are fake, and many companies aren't hiring, and AI filters most of the applications. So what actually works? Not applying, building, networking, and creating some kind of a leverage that you can use. Because the people winning right now are not the ones who are applying, they're the ones who are building tools, creating businesses, and creating income streams. And this is the shift that no one is talking about. We're kind of moving from a job economy to a creator economy at this point. Employees are becoming builders, and resume is basically the product. Because if jobs are becoming scarcer, they're more competitive, and they're less real, then relying on them is the real risk. So next time when you apply for a job, you kind of need to ask yourself, is this even real, or am I just feeding the system? Well, if you found value in this video, give it a thumbs up, leave your thoughts in the comments, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and those bell notifications are on, because I'm going to be posting very frequently on this channel. Share this video with your friends who are in tech, finance, marketing, or other white collar jobs, and I'll see you in the next one.